Hello everyone, it's Victor from the Canadian Spot Company. Today I'm going to go over the process and how to fix crack repairs. I'm sure you heard of cracks forming in plastic, fiberglass, windshield. The number one important objective is to stop the crack from spreading. You think the crack is from here to here. The purpose of the black magic marker is you outline the crack and you go past where the crack supposedly ends. So I'm going further. See here where the crack supposedly ends? I always go further. Now I use alcohol to wipe off the black magic marker. It'll show if the crack is a lot bigger than what it appears to be. Where I had the dot was here, right? But if you look here, the crack is further. The magic marker also helps with outlining the crack to prepare for what we call a V-groove. You have to V-groove the crack with a Dremel to prevent the crack from spreading. One's a fine bit, and the fine bit is sort of setting a path. Once you've done that, then you use like a round bit. I usually just use a round bit because of experience. If you haven't done this before, you start off with the fine bit. Put on safety glasses and a mask. You have to have a steady hand. You're actually pulling, not pushing. You're pulling along the crack. Where the crack ends, I put a little hole. Okay? That's where it ends. What that does is the crack can't travel further, but I usually go past the crack. And then you have to clean off the excess. And you can use a fine tip to clean off the excess. If you don't want to use the fine tip, you can use a sharp pointed Phillips screwdriver to take out any excess material you've already cut. Where I did a small hole is where the crack ends. It won't hurt to go further. I usually go maybe 1/4 of an inch or in the thousandths, like about 90 thou. I'm gonna just go. So I went further than where the crack stopped to make sure that the crack cannot spread. You have to use the round bit. I already set up a path where the crack is with the fine bit. Now you're using the round end bit, and you have to do the V-groove through the acrylic of the crack and stop when you hit the fiberglass, because underneath the acrylic is fiberglass. You don't want to go past the fiberglass. Once again, now you have to clean off the excess of what I've cut. Now, it's still white underneath. You see that dark spot there? That means I'm getting very close to the fiberglass. So now you go with the Dremel again. You just want to hit the fiberglass, not cut into the fiberglass. Don't be too concerned if you do cut into it a little bit, you'll still be able to do the repair. And here you can go with the Dremel back and forth. So as you can see, you see the dark, like a dark gray, that's part of the fiberglass. When you're using a Dremel, you're cutting into the acrylic. It causes also vibration, and what can also happen sometimes when you get a crack. Let's say this, my left hand is the fiberglass, and the acrylic is poured on top. It cures, shapes over the fiberglass. But what happens with cracks and vibrations, it can end up causing a gap or a slight separation. And a slight separation is no good. So what we do is, see Loctite 406? You put in a couple of drops, and it's going to turn like almost black. It'll creep underneath the acrylic to where it hits the fiberglass. If there's a slightest gap and all that, it now adheres it. It bonds together. Right now I'm just finishing taping, and the purpose of the tape is you don't want the filler to get all over the tub. Just the area of that needs to be filled. As you can see, this is the filler, and I'm adding hardener to it. And usually you put on a small coat, and then you might have to add a second coat, and then there's a third coat, which is a cosmetic coat. And then it has to cure. It can cure anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes, and it has to cure rock solid. So right now I'm going to put a first coat. And as you can see, I'm not filling it flush. I want to make sure I hit the fiberglass so there's no pocket. And you have to do this quick before it starts to cure. So the next step is to let this cure